Which of the following gives the crushing energy required to create new surface? A. Taggart's rule. B. Fick's law. C. Rittinger's law. D. None of these. The correct answer is Rittinger's law. In filtration, the use of filter aid helps in A. Reducing the filtration pressure. B. Accelerating the rate of filtration. C. Deplugging the filter medium. D. Enhancing the cake porosity in case of a dense impermeable cake. The correct answer is deplugging the filter medium. Gizzlies are used for separating solids. A. Coarse. B. Fine. C. Any size. D. None of these. The correct answer is fine. Which of the following clay mixing devices is vacuum operated for deairation of clay? A. Banbury mixer. B. Pug mill. C. Muller mixer. D. None of these. The correct answer is pug mill. Pick out the material having minimum Rittinger's number. A. Calcite. B. Pyrite. C. Quartz. D. Galena. The correct answer is quartz. Mills are termed as impactors. A. Hammer. B. Cage. C. Rolling compression. D. None of these. The correct answer is hammer. In case of a revolving mill, wet grinding compared to dry grinding. A. Requires more energy. B. Has less capacity. C. Complicates handling classification of the product. D. None of these. The correct answer is none of these. To get a fine talc powder from its granules, the equipment used is A. Roller crusher. B. Ball mill. C. Jaw crusher. D. Gyratory crusher. The correct answer is ball mill. For a cyclone of diameter 0.2 m with a tangential velocity of 15 ms at the wall, the separation factor is A. 2250. B. 1125. C. 460. D. 230. The correct answer is 230. Width and speed of a conveyor belt depends upon the of the material. A. Lump size. B. Bulk density. C. Both A. B. D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A. B. Higher is the mesh number, smaller will be the aperture size of the screen. It means that the aperture size of a 200 mesh screen will be smaller than that of 20 mesh screen. This is valid for A. British standard screens. B. German standard screens DIN 1171 etc. C. American standard screens ASTM and Tyler standard screens. D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is all A, B, and C. Pick out the wrong statement. A. Cumulative analysis for determining surface area is preferred over differential analysis because of the assumption that all particles in a simple fraction equal in size is not needed for cumulative analysis, unlike differential analysis. B. A gate diagram is a plot of cumulative percent by weight undersize versus the reciprocal of diameter, in which the area beneath the curve represents the surface. C. Capacity of crusher in choke feeding is increased. D. Rolling of pebbles balls from top to bottom of the heap in tumbling mills is called cascading, and throwing of the balls through the air to the toe of the heap is called cataracting. The correct answer is capacity of crusher in choke feeding is increased. Which of the following size reduction equipments employs mainly attrition for ultrafine grinding? A. Jet mills. B. Fluid energy mill. C. Micronaser. D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is all A, B, and C. Tank filter, e.g. Nutsch filter, is A. A high pressure filter. B. A continuous filter. C. Used for small scale filtration work. D. A leaf filter. The correct answer is Used for small-scale filtration work. In bag filters, filter fabrics are never made of A. Metallic wire woven mesh, B. Polyester fibers, C. Cotton fibers, D. Nylon fibers. The correct answer is metallic wire woven mesh. Use of grinding aids is done in grinding. A. Dry, B. Wet, C. Ultrafine, D. Intermediate. The correct answer is dry. Height of liquid in agitation tank is normally maintained equal to the tank diameter. However, if the tank is too tall and a large liquid hold-up is desired, then 2 or more impellers mounted on the same shaft may be used. The clearance between the tank bottom and the bottom-most impeller should be about where the impeller diameter A. 0.5 d, B. d, C. 1.5 d, D. 2 d. The correct answer is D. Which of the following is the most suitable filter for separation of abrasive solids suspended in a corrosive liquid? A. Sand bed filter, B. Plate and frame filter press, C. Vacuum filter, D. Batch basket centrifuge. The correct answer is vacuum filter. All resistances during washing of cake. A. Increases, B. Decreases, C. Remain constant, D. None of these. The correct answer is remain constant. A mixer resembles a ball mill without balls. A. Banbury, B. Pug mill, C. Tumbling, D. Pan. The correct answer is tumbling. Conveyor is the most suitable for short-distance transportation of non-abrasive loose materials like garbage, grain, food wastes, etc. A. Flight, B. Screw, C. Drag, D. Belt. The correct answer is flight. As the product becomes finer, the energy required for grinding A. decreases, B. increases, C. is same as for coarser grinding, D. is 1.5 times that for coarser grinding. The correct answer is increases. Gyratory crushers compared to the reciprocating jaw crushers. A. have greater capacity per unit of discharge area, B. crush intermittently, C. are less suitable for coarse materials, D. have less steady power consumption. The correct answer is have greater capacity per unit of discharge area. The important dimensional group involved in the power requirement calculation in mixing operation is the number A. Reynolds, B. Froude, C. both A, B, D. neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A, B. At low Reynolds number, the power P required for agitating a fluid in a stirred tank becomes independent of inertial forces. In this limit, indicate which of the following relations is satisfied. PON3D5 power number Re ND2 Reynolds number. N is the impeller rotational speed and D is the impeller diameter. AP or Re 1.0, BP or Re 0.0, CP or Re 0.5, DP or Re 1.0. The correct answer is P or Re 0.0. Which of the following grinding mills has the horizontally arranged rods as the grinding elements, thereby delivering more uniform granular products with minimum fines? A. compartment mill, B. rod mill, C. pebble mill, D. tube mill. The correct answer is rod mill. Rittinger's crushing law states that A. work required to form a particle of any size is proportional to the square of the surface to volume ratio of the product. B. work required to form a particle of a particular size is proportional to the square root of the surface to volume ratio of the product. C. work required in crushing is proportional to the new surface created. D. for a given machine and feed, crushing efficiency is dependent on the size of the feed product. The correct answer is Work required in crushing is proportional to the new surface created. Mechanical conveyors which push the material along an endless trough or tube are called scrappers. Which of the following conveying equipments comes under the category of scrappers? A. Bucket conveyor. B. Flight conveyor. C. Screw conveyor. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is both B and C. Sphericity of pulverized coal is A1, B1, C1, D. The correct answer is 1. The reduction ratio for fine grinders is A 5:10, B 10:20, C 20:40, D as high as 100. The correct answer is as high as 100. Which of the following is the hardest material? A. Calcite, B. Quartz, C. Corundum, D. Gypsum. The correct answer is corundum. General mechanism of size reduction in intermediate and fine grinder is by A. Cutting action, B. Compression, C. Compression and tearing, D. Impact and attrition. The correct answer is impact and attrition. A straight line is obtained on plotting reciprocal of filtration rate versus the volume of filtrate for flow of filtrate. A. Compressible cakes and laminar, B. Incompressible cake and laminar, C. Compressible cake and turbulent, D. Incompressible cake and turbulent. The correct answer is incompressible cake and laminar. The work index in Bond's law for crushing of solids has the following dimensions. A. No units dimensionless, B. kWh tone, C. kW tone, D. kWh.m12 tone. The correct answer is kWh tone. Ore concentration by jigging is based on the difference in the of the particles. A. Specific gravities, B. Wettability, C. Shape, D. None of these. The correct answer is specific gravities. Size measurement of ultrafine particles can be best expressed in terms of A. Centimeter, B. Screen size, C. Micron, D. Surface area per unit mass. The correct answer is surface area per unit mass. Reduction ratio of crushers is the A. Ratio of feed opening to discharge opening, B. Ratio of discharge opening to feed opening, C. Determining factor for minimum dia of the feed and the product, D. None of these. The correct answer is ratio of feed opening to discharge opening. Which is a secondary crusher for a hard tough stone? A. Jaw crusher, B. Cone crusher, C. Impact crusher, D. Toothed roll crusher. The correct answer is cone crusher. Which of the following equations is Rittinger's crushing law, where P power required by the machine, M feed rate, K a constant volume, surface mean diameter of feed product respectively? A. P m K d P, B. P m K ln, C. P m K, D. None of these. The correct answer is PMK. Cyclones are used primarily for separating A. Solids, B. Solids from fluids, C. Liquids, D. Solids from solids. The correct answer is solids from fluids. There is practically no alternative competitor to in the beneficiation treatment of sulfide ores. A. Classification, B. Tabling, C. Jigging, D. Froth flotation. The correct answer is froth flotation. Separation of isotopes is generally done using an centrifuge. A. Ultra, B. Disc ball, C. Both A B, D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer is ultra. Temperature of the product during ultrafine grinding. A. Increases, B. Decreases, C. Remains constant, D. May increase or decrease, depends on the material being ground. The correct answer is increases. Reciprocating screens are normally inclined at an angle of 5 with the horizontal and employ gyratory motion at feed end, reciprocating motion at the discharge end. They are not suitable for the screening of the A. light metal powder down up to 4 meshes, B. dry chemicals, C. heavy tonnages of rocks or gravel, D. powdered food granular materials. The correct answer is heavy tonnages of rocks or gravel. In a ball mill, the volume occupied by the balls when the mill is stopped is about % of the volume of the mill. A. 35, B. 50, C. 70, D. 85. The correct answer is 50. Separation of materials of the same density based on their sizes by using then different rates of flow is called A. sorting, B. sizing, C. flocculation, D. ultrafine. The correct answer is sizing. Molten ammonium nitrate is mixed with ground limestone in fertilizer plant in A. pug mill, B. mixer extruder, C. Bunbury mixer, D. Muller mixer. The correct answer is pug mill. Agglomeration of individual particles into clusters flocs is called flocculation. To prevent flocculation, the most commonly used dispersing agents are A. carbonates, B. sulfates, C. silicates phosphates, D. bicarbonates. The correct answer is silicates phosphates. For a sphere falling in the constant drag coefficient regime, its terminal velocity depends on its diameter d as AD, BD, CD2, D1D. The correct answer is D2.